The folks over at Xbox are showing the rest of the industry how remakes are supposed to be done with one upcoming title, Gears of War Reloaded. We'll talk details.
And we just got another little taste of GTA 6 in the most recent trailer. We'll give our thoughts on this and a whole bunch more right now at Gaming News Weekly. What's up, everybody? It's time for another episode of Gaming News Weekly, the best weekly video game news show out there every single Monday. Almost. We bring you the best things from the video game industry, the biggest news, everything happening in the industry. You can find us on YouTube and podcast services everywhere. My name is E-Rock the Red. As always, I'm joined by this man right here. Full clip. What's up, dude? How are you?
Doing pretty good. You?
I'm good. We're a little off this week. We had a very busy weekend, so we unfortunately are recording this a day late. So we missed our Monday deadline. Maybe you noticed, maybe not. I don't know. But we're still getting it out there. Just it feels a little different, But
Yeah.
still the
Yeah.
same
For once, I
news.
didn't just roll out of bed and still trying to wake up while we're putting this show out.
That's true. Yeah, you look much more awake than you normally do, so that's a good
True.
point.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's actually now it's 9 in the morning. Kidding. What have you been up to? Anything fun?
Not a whole lot. I've been playing a little Schedule 1 as I find time, and then just returning to one of the all-time greats, Hell Let Loose. Played a little bit the last few nights.
You did. Oh, it's been a while since you played that.
Yeah, a little while. Not much has changed. I think they did come out with some new maps or something. Looks like Sahara and Africa. Haven't really played that yet, but
Okay.
it's looking pretty good. Also, Schedule 1 came out with their new update in this past week, adding a new storage building facility. I haven't bought it yet, so I've only seen a little bit here and there on TikToks and stuff. But it adds a little bit to the game where now you can maybe be producing your stuff off in the warehouse or the barn and have it shipped into the city center, making it easy for you to go and grab those materials from your storage and supply it to your dealers. Adding a little more automation to the game as well. You can have your workers unload trucks and bring supplies in. There's a lot of automation I haven't explored yet, but that seems like the next step.
You just like to do it yourself. You're that hands-on guy. You want to, deliver the drugs personally to everybody. So I get that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can't trust
there's
those
not enough
people.
time in the day in that game.
Sure. Very cool. Yeah, and I don't really have anything new to report either. I've only been playing Clair Obscur. Still enjoying it, having a blast. My only problem with it is there's not enough time in the day for me to finally get down and get in there and play it, because every time I do, it's I just want to step. I don't get started playing usually until 10 o'clock at night, and then I'm playing it and I'm like, oh my god, where did the time go? So I'm enjoying the heck out of that. I did play one of our new releases, and I'll get into that once we get going. But well, should we get into our new releases?
Let's do it.
All right, the game I've been playing, it's a little game called Captain Blood. This came out on every console on May 6th. So there's a little story behind this one. So back in 2003, this game was revealed. Yes, this game, not a different version of it, but it was this game. And then the company that was creating it, PlayLogic, they ended up going bankrupt in 2010 after trying to build this game for the longest time. 2020, the game then was restarted. It was purchased from somewhere, and then in 2024 they showed off this brand new old game called Captain Blood. It's and now in 2025, the game has finally come out. It's initially set to be released on like the Xbox 360, I think it was being made for, and now it's a delightful retro title. So it's out. It's basically like it's got those old school like graphics because it is old school, but it's more of like it's kind of like a pirate God of War is what I've heard it be described as, and I agree with that. You're basically, it's just a hack and slash game. You're running around beating everybody up. There's different ways to do it. You got a gun, you got swords, you could pick up different items and use those when you're doing it. There's like quick time event, like execution type things depending on the enemy. And it is a very simple game. If you're a fan of pirates or that sort of thing, I think it's enjoyable. It's got all the, the pirate stuff that you want in there. Cutlasses and planks. I don't know if there's any parrots. There's probably parrots.
Probably.
But I'm enjoying it. I'm playing it on my Steam Deck, and it is, it's the perfect fit for that because it is, it's not graphically intensive, and it's just a hack and slash game. You go through, you find, treasure chests, and you get money and weapons and stuff. It's a very simple game, and it's enjoyable. I'm having fun with it.
Yeah, it's interesting to go back and experience something from that era of Xbox 360 and all the expectations that we had of a new game then, and for it to just be kind of plopped out for the first time now on the current generations. Yeah, I watched the trailer for it, and it seems like they're really leaning into like the odd history of this game's founding. And also, when going to research this, there was a quick Google search of Captain Blood brought up like a cheesy ass looking 70s movie that looks like it's based on. Is this what that's based on?
I'm pretty sure it's the same story, the same concept. Yeah.
Okay.
I've never seen the movie, but I did notice it too as I was like looking at, because I went to like type it into Google and it comes up with the movie. I'm like, no, this is not what I'm looking for. So yeah, I think I should watch it now. I'll put it on my list of things to do. But yeah, it's not a great game by any stretch, but it's definitely a serviceable game that that you'll get enjoyment out of if you just want a mindless, hack and slash game to just go through and play. And that's exactly what I was looking for. I just wanted something to play on my Steam Deck while I'm watching some dumb TV show or wrestling or something, so I'm like, look, I could look up and down. And it perfectly fits that mold. And even more so if you're into like the concept of like pirates in that era and that sort of thing. So, I don't know. I would say maybe wait for it to be on sale because there's not a ton there. And I think it's maybe like $25-$30 full price right now. So, even if you wait on a sale on that, and then it'll be more in line with what you're paying for, I think. All right, the next one this week is The Midnight Walk. Came out on PC and PS5 on May 8th. This one is crazy looking. It's like this dark fantasy game, but it's entirely done with like the stop motion claymation style of animation. It's cute and scary and beautiful and dark, and it can be played fully in VR or flat mode. But basically it's like just kind of like this story. It's a few different stories put together where you go through, you got to solve puzzles and explore with this cute little lantern called Pot Boy. And, it's just very interesting. It's really, you get drawn to it visually. I don't know how much actual gameplay there is, but it's one of the most aesthetically pleasing games that I've seen in a long time. So, what are your thoughts on this one?
For sure. So stylistically, if you're a fan of like Tim Burton movies, I think you're going to love this. There's a lot of heavy inspiration there. Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's cool to see these games that are like Harold Halibut. I don't remember if that one was like completely handmade out of clay or something, but they had that choppy, like purposeful 12 frame a second animation or something like that makes it look a lot like this game. And also the one that's like set in the bayou with the voodoo.
South of Midnight.
Yeah, South of Midnight. So there's more of these games coming out, and it just texturally, they're very, very interesting to look at. having not played this, I can't really say it's fun to play, but it looks like it's fun to
Right.
check out.
Yeah, based on the the Steam reviews and the Metacritic review. So right now it's at a 79 on Metacritic, and then everything I'm seeing from people on Steam saying that it's just there's not a ton of gameplay there, but just walking through that world, listening to the music, seeing the sights, it's pretty amazing, especially in VR. So very cool. And then the last one, Revenge of the Savage Planet, came out also on May 8th on PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox S, and X. This one is a third-person action adventure game. It's very, very silly. It's got like fun animation, and the whole story, the writing of it is real, silly, tongue-in-cheek. But it's like you're exploring these alien planets. There's 4 planets that you start with, and you just go and you spray goo, and there's different gadgets, and you capture aliens, and it's, I don't know, it's more than a sandbox game, but it definitely has that kind of feel where you just go around and you just explore, and you do stuff in that world. You can upgrade your gear based on like things you find, but it also has co-op, and it has local like couch co-op or online co-op, and it just looks like a blast. People run around squirting goo and just fighting off these giant alien creatures. So yeah, that one looks like a lot of fun. I'm gonna try that one hopefully soon. It's on Game Pass, so I'm afforded the ability to do so without having to put forth some bucks. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah. And when you said that you had played one of the new releases coming out here, this is the one that I kind of suspected because I knew it was on Game Pass. Didn't know if you'd be into a game like this. This reminds me a lot of Satisfactory, except like, the exploration, the gameplay, even some of the graphics look a lot like that game. But that one's all about setting up a factory, resource gathering, so you can turn this into that, build more, finish your objective, where this is more focused on the exploration, the animals, the aliens, and that side of things. And it looks like a really good time for the local couch co-op. So makes me wonder, like, even though it's on Game Pass, should I, maybe I'll try it out. And if I like it, I'll maybe grab it on PlayStation and second controller, and maybe me and the wife can play it out there on the TV.
That's a great idea, and I'll report back too next week. I'm gonna, I think it's one that I'm gonna try with my son and just run around. And now he's not fully focused on objectives or any part of the story, so it's like I constantly, he just wants to run around and find creatures, and I think that'll be fine in this one. So, but I'll get a little bit of a taste of what exactly it is that I can expect, and I know you could play as Dave the Diver on the on one of those versions, so that's exciting. All right, that's it for this week's new releases. Next week's going to be another big week. Doom the Dark Ages comes out. So I don't know when I'm really going to have time to play any of these games, because Doom the Dark Ages also on Game Pass, and the reviews are out. The embargo has been lifted. Right now it's at an 85 on Metacritic. They're saying it is up there with the best Dooms that we've seen. It's just more of the same. Just a lot of fun, innovation, and that sort of thing. So really excited to get in there and try that. We'll talk about that more next week. So yeah, that's next week. Right now, let's get into our news of the week. All right, real quick, while we're talking about games coming to Game Pass, the May lineup was just announced for the upcoming games coming to Game Pass. And they are Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2, comes May 7th. Dungeons of Hinterberg comes to Game Pass Standard on May 7th. Flintlock Siege of Dawn comes to Game Pass Standard on May 7th. Metal Slug Tactics, Game Pass Standard on May 7th. And then Revenge of the Savage Planet, we talked about May 8th, came out day one game. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutants Unleashed, also came out May 8th on Game Pass Ultimate and Standard. Warhammer Vermintide 2 came to Game Pass Ultimate and Standard on May 13th. Doom the Dark Ages, May 15th, day one game on Ultimate. And then Culebra and the Souls of Limbo. Never heard of that one, but that's a day one game as well. May 16th. That is a papercraft adventure game where you meet the many good and not so good folks of Limbo. A place where souls with deep regrets are cursed into repeating the same day on a loop. Interesting. That's a tough spot to be in, basically right when Doom comes out. Anyways, and then you got Firefighting Simulator, The Squad, coming to Ultimate and Standard on May 20th. Police Simulator, Patrol Officers, also on May 20th. So, yeah, you get in there. Did we just talk about there's like, how come there's no Firefighting Simulator? Little did we know.
We talked about some game, yeah.
Yeah, it is there, and we could play it on May 20th. So, some great games coming to Game Pass as usual, but leaving May 15th. Brothers, A Tale of Two Sons, Chance of Sennar, Dune Spice Wars, Haunty, and The Big Con. So get those games in before May 15th. So, yeah, man, between Revenge of the Savage Planet, Doom, what more could you ask for? That's just 1 month of games, and we're not even talking about, Clair Obscur and Oblivion last week. So pretty crazy.
Gosh, yeah, really,
you ever
really
play
good.
this Dragon Ball game?
No, not that one.
I know you play some of those. This one, it looked interesting because it's more of a adventure game. Usually they're just like fighting games,
Yeah, those are the ones I'm used to, like the Budokai series.
I don't know much about them.
I think this one's more open world or something. But yeah, a lot of great day ones coming to Game Pass. I mean, we say it all the time. We don't need to glaze them too hard, but just an amazing value for the money that they charge you. And checking out Firefighter Simulator, Police Simulator. I haven't really looked into these. I kind of wonder, are they polished or are they janky as hell? Because, sometimes the jank can be one of the more fun parts of some of these simulators. And then
exactly.
Is that Warhammer game the same one we just saw come to PlayStation, to their subscription service?
No, this is a different one. This one is a 4-player co-op game, but it is first person. So, that is a different one. I've never played this one.
Okay.
Sounds interesting. I'll check it out. I'm not familiar with any of the Warhammer games, really. All right, and then just because we recently entered a new month, we got to talk about the Humble Choice offerings real quick. This month, they are offering the Thaumaturge Deluxe Edition, Amnesia the Bunker, Eva West, Shadow Gambit, The Cursed Crew, Ayuden Chronicle, 100 Heroes, Star Wars Bounty Hunter, Ultros, and Corpse Keeper for, $11.99 or whatever for this month. I haven't skipped this month, or I haven't got the games this month. I'm on the fence. I have a few of them, so do I want to really get in there and try to trade them? But I am drawn to Evil West and Ayuden Chronicle 100 Heroes. So I'm right on the fence. I don't know which way I'm going to go yet.
Yeah, I remember we talked about Evil West when it was coming out, but I think maybe that one's on Game Pass. Not 100% sure. Star Wars Bounty Hunter, is this the one where it came out and people were just kind of clowning on how bad the hit detection and things were?
I don't remember. I was looking at that, and I remember we talked about it. It came out in August, I think, of last year, so it's not too old. But I mean, it's it's based on an old game.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I think. I don't know if they fixed any of that, if that is the game I'm thinking of, but maybe look into that before you buy. I haven't accepted it either. I don't think I'm going to. I need to skip this month.
Yeah, I think ultimately I will too, just because I have Amnesia, I have the Thaumaturge, and I have Ultros out of all those. It's do I really want to worry about, adding those to the trade and trying to work?
Right.
Depends on how much work I want to do to try to get my value back, So
yeah,
we'll see. Maybe it'll be one of those where I say I'm going to skip it, and then they give me a $3 coupon. Those are always nice deals. All right, let's get into the meat of our sandwich, the thing we're here to talk about. GTA 6, we got another trailer. I think this came out literally a day after. We're throw us another trailer.
Yeah. We're due for one, right?
Right? Yeah, so they did that. We saw the trailer. It's about a 3-minute trailer. And the best part about this is we got an idea of the story. This couple doing bank robberies. And it looks it looks very GTA. It's definitely, it's got all that. It got a great cast of characters. I recognize some actors' voices, and what I thought was interesting, the entire trailer they said was captured entirely in game on the PS5. So it was, and I went back after I read that, I watched it again and tried to determine which scenes might have been cutscenes versus like the playable scenes in the game, because to me it looked entirely like cutscenes. It looked very cinematic. So yeah, what do you think of this trailer?
Yeah, it was also supposed to be based on like base model PS5 footage. So if they're able to keep up with all the promises they're sort of making here through the trailers, and also a big batch of screenshots. There's like 70 screenshots or something that came out showing you the characters and just kind of the city. The characters, I don't really care about the characters till I've experienced the story and I know more about them. So just kind of skipped over those and went to the city, and it looks every bit as good as shown in the trailer. Yeah, I mean, I'm still as excited as I ever was for it. It's just at a certain point, I'm hoping that they are not like over promising and under delivering in some way. Maybe this story isn't as long as it should be, or maybe, I don't know. We have no details on what an online is going to look like, and that's where the majority of my time in GTA 5 was spent. So I mean, I just always waiting to see more, and we've got about a year to have our thirst quenched for that.
Yeah, exactly. Like I think it's going to be great just based on what we've seen. I don't deny that. I don't discount that. I think it's going to be fantastic. But yeah, it's got a lot to live up to. There's a very high bar. When just looking at GTA 5, like how do you follow that up? Which, I mean, we have to remove ourselves from the fact that like GTA 5 came out and has all this post-game content, so much post-game content, so we have to remember that GTA 6, when it comes out, it's not going to be as diverse and as, fleshed out as that. So you have to like remove that from the whole equation. But yeah, man, I'm excited to see more. I want to know more about the characters. And yeah, like you said, like the world of like the Florida that they show in the trailers, man, it looks crazy. I can't wait to explore that, run around, and just like get into crazy hijinks in that world.
Absolutely. And there's some of those screenshots, seeing some of the vehicles and stuff that are going to be available in there. I mean, there's stuff in there that people, I remember them asking for it in GTA 5. They're like, where's the cars on the gigantic, like those 80-inch rims or whatever? Those cars that like sit up in the air on top of those crazy tires, and that's in there. A lot of off-road vehicles. Looks like there's going to be like fan boats and stuff. I've never played a GTA game with a fan boat from my memory, so that could be interesting. I wonder if there's going to be like hunting and stuff in this game, because they sort of get into that on GTA 5, but not with any real purpose other than like an objective here and there. But you're down in the Everglades, and it looks like there are like raccoons in the trash piles and stuff. It's just there's so much that this game could be, and I hope that it's that next step from GTA 5. I don't think we're going to be very disappointed in the end.
Yeah, I don't either. But it's all, we really just do have to keep our like expectations somewhat in check. That's the problem when you have this game and you keep. The biggest problem with delaying it, you and I were always for delaying games to polish them, make them better, less crunch, that sort of thing. But the biggest problem is that when you keep delaying, there's expectations, and what you expect in the game just keeps growing and getting bigger and bigger. So it's hopefully we're not too that bar isn't too high. But yeah, I'm excited. May 26th. 2026. $130 for the base copy of the game.
Oh.
All right. While we're waiting for that, though, this summer we could get in there and play Gears of War Reloaded. Now, I've never played Gears of War before, so I am very excited about this. In fact, when I got Game Pass, originally, it was one of the games that I was going to start. because I've never, I've been a PlayStation boy, never got a chance to play any of the Gears games. So I was like, I'm going to start with this series because I hear they're great. Now I could play the fully remastered version. It's going to be on Game Pass. And for the first time ever, it's going to be on PlayStation, which is crazy that we're going to have a Gears of War game on PlayStation. It's never going to get old, this whole thing. Like, when we get that Halo game eventually on PlayStation, it's going to blow my mind again. But yeah, this sounds great, man. It's going to be out August 26th. It's going to be $40 day one on Game Pass Ultimate or PC Game Pass. And it's going to support cross-play and cross-progression across all platforms. And I thought something really cool is that if you own the Gears of War Ultimate Edition, you can get a free upgrade to the remastered Gears of War Reloaded, which I think was a great move on their part. Because it's basically that same game. It includes all of the content from the Ultimate Edition, and it's going to be the most complete version of the original game to date. With all post-launch downloadable content available at no additional cost. This includes the bonus campaign act, all multiplayer maps and modes, and a full roster of classic characters and cosmetics unlockable through progression. So just reading this now, never once really occurred to me as I was planning on playing this game that there's multiplayer. Have you ever played the multiplayer on this?
No.
I just know that it's got a great story and like the gameplay is fantastic, but it never occurred to me that this is going to be a brand new finger quotes multiplayer game. So I wonder how it is. If anybody's out there have played it, let us know if it's quality or not. But yeah, man, I'm excited. To break into Gears of War in 4K, 120 frames per second HDR. Oh, yeah. Almost 20 years old, and now I'm going to get a chance to get in there because of Game Pass.
Yep, they seem to be doing everything right on this one. I'm sure somebody will still find reason to complain, but coming down to the Microsoft account, I'll read what they say here. Gears of War Reloaded is built for shared play, whether you're teaming up in split screen or jumping online. The campaign supports 2-player co-op and versus multiplayer, allowing up to 8 players with cross-play across all platforms. You and your friends can squad up no matter where you play, no Microsoft account required. However, signing in with a Microsoft account unlocks the full cross-platform functionality, enables cross-progression, so your campaign and multiplayer progress carries across devices, and on and on. So that part makes sense. You got to sign into something for them to know who you are and carry your game over, but it's not going to require it for you to have the basic functionality and be able to play. And I know that's tripped up a lot of people when it came to PlayStation accounts or Steam accounts or whatever.
Right.
So I think they're doing everything right here.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. That's pretty crazy. That's you can have split screen on that too. It's a good time to be a couch co-op person. Get a lot of games feature in that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm excited. August, what did I say? 26th. All right, next up, we got a brand new game studio announced out of PlayStation. This is a studio called Team LFG they originated at Bungie, and like right after the big layoffs that they had, they kind of spun out this smaller studio with some of the veterans at Bungie, and they're Team LFG. Based on, LFG stands for Looking for Games. So they put out a quote talking about, basically introducing themselves. I'm not going to read the whole thing, but here's the part of it. It says, they're driven by a mission to create games where players can find friendship, community, and belonging. We want our players to feel excited when they log on to discover their teammates already hanging out online. We want our players to recognize familiar names and to make myths and memes out of each other. We want our players to love remembering that one time where they pulled off that play that changed the whole story of the match. As we say on the team, that's the good stuff. We will make immersive multiplayer worlds propelled by action games that players can learn, play, and master for countless hours. We want to build our games with our communities, inviting players to be a part of our development process through early access playtests. It's critical that we stay nimble enough to react to player feedback, not just in our lead up to launch, but throughout live service as we continue to grow the game and community for years to come. Our first game is a team-based action game that draws inspiration from fighting games, platformers, MOBAs, life sims, and frog-type games. Players will inhabit a lighthearted comedic world set in a brand new mythic science fantasy universe. We can't wait to reveal more. Till then, we'll do our best. Thanks for reading. So, I'm intrigued. I don't know. We talk about the live service games. This is a regular thing that we talk about on the show, and the studio's kind of focused on just those. So, I'll be tentative until we get to see something, just because, this absolutely, is a live service game, a live service studio. It's what they're focusing on. So,
Yeah.
but what they described sounds interesting.
Yeah. What is a frog type game? Frogger?
I don't know. Frogger? Is it Battletoads?
The one where it jumps in the shadows and ink or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what that's referring to, a frog type game, but that could be interesting.
Yeah. So until we see more, I'm in. They sound like they know what they want to do. They have a vision, and want to take it back to a social experience. So I don't know. It could be cool. Could be doo doo. But, I'm pleasantly hopeful. All right. And then last up, some more exciting news. Giant Bomb is no longer part of the corporate machine. They are now owned 100% by the employees and are 100% independent. It's very good news for, video game journalism, like we were just talking about when Polygon got bought. Sad day for video game journalism. Now we're back with a good day. This is exciting. If you're a fan of Giant Bomb, or if you're not, having more of this in the video game world is a good thing. So what are your thoughts on this?
Yeah, it seems like they pulled the opposite of what happened to Polygon. So there's shoes to fill. There's a market for it, because we all kind of expect Polygon to be in-shitified. And here's Giant Bomb, who's already a pretty big name in the industry. Coming up, maybe filling those shoes, maybe not. It would be nice if they do have, because of this independence, they're able to, truly say how they feel, and not, do game reviews and stuff that seem clearly a little bit biased, because you don't want to piss off the big guys in the industry, because they'll never give you games again. You never know how this is going to work out, but I mean, it's probably going to be for the better.
Yeah, I really do think that they can do it, especially with this model. So the model that they're doing, it's kind of like a Patreon style thing, entirely paid for by fans of the show. So they said in a statement, they said, "We want your money. We need your money. Give us money." But for real, this is a big risk we're taking, and keeping Giant Bomb alive is going to rely on the support of the community. As an independent entity now, we can say that all support that we receive from you will go directly towards maintaining and growing Giant Bomb and paying the fine folks that you see on our programming week after week. Games media has changed dramatically since Giant Bomb launched in 2008, and our new model aims to evolve with the times. We want people to be able to see our content, whether they're able to support us monetarily or not. So the large majority of what we put out will be available for free. That's how Fortnite works, right? The kids love Fortnite. Dan Reichert skin coming soon. And then they list their gaming model, and it's going to be like a $9.99 a month thing, or $100 for the year, and it gives you like all the podcasts ad free, and all the content there. So they're gonna be doing behind the scenes town hall Q&As, basically all this stuff. If you're a fan of them, it's $100 for the year. It's not bad to get all the content that they're gonna be putting out. So it's pretty cool. So hopefully they can, get a big burst, influx of cash, and just start putting out content. So maybe.
And I appreciate that it doesn't sound like everything is going to be locked behind these subscriptions. It's not really a subscription. It's like you said, it's more like a GoFundMe or a Kickstarter or something like
Yeah.
that, where if you choose to support them, you can. But I think the articles will still be there. The podcast will still be there. You're just going to, you're an ad-supported user if you're not paying one of these $9.99 a month or $100 for the year.
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, you just got to listen to some ads, but you'll still get the content either way. So you're just not getting that, the bonus content that they're going to put out if you're a super fan. So, but yeah, just having that be independent and being able to, not be a part of, what's making video game news and that sort of thing shittier is great. So, yeah. And then, we'll start this model soon, right? $9.99 a month. But you're still only getting, 1 weekly podcast.
Yeah. But you get access
Totally
to our
worth
OnlyFans.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. Absolutely. Which is a great deal. I mean, we're on that all the time together.
Oh, yeah.
All right. That is it for the news for this week. A little bit of a shorter show. A day late, I know. But, we're busy dudes. We're not getting any money from this. We don't have any Patreon support. So, yeah. So we just do it for the love of the game. But yeah, before we head out, you got anything else?
No, that's it.
All right, that's it. Thank you so much for checking out this episode. Definitely go check out the YouTube page. It's Pop Culture Playground is the name of the channel. Subscribe there. You'll get the show with all the all the bells and whistles. Or if you're more a podcast kind of person, anywhere podcasts are found, just type in GNW and this show will pop up. You hit subscribe there. And then every single week, usually Mondays, you'll have this one ready for you to go. So, and then, the socials. Go to the socials, all of the socials. We might be there, we might not, but it's a game. You got to find us. If you find us, say hi, you'll get a prize. And that's it. All right, let's get out of here. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.